fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
Mar-a-Gaza, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Donald Trump is taking over the Gaza Strip. Is he really? Who knows? We're going to examine that situation tonight on the report from Tiger Mountain. Stick around and listen. Yes, Donald Trump plans to take over the Gaza Strip. Now, will he ever do that? I don't know. Sounds like an interesting idea, to be perfectly honest. As you well know, if you've watched a couple of other reports from Tiger Mountains, I'm no friend of Israel. And people say that, Donald Trump, taking over, say, America, taking over the Gaza Strip would help Israel. Well, I don't know. I think to some extent that could even be true. But, let me tell you this. I don't think that when Donald Trump made that announcement that he'd spoken to Bibi about the topic. I think he made it and then had a chat to Bibi afterwards. And obviously Bibi would have to think, well, America's better than having the Palestinians there, which obviously it would be for Israel. Having America there would be better. But then there is an element of, how would you put it? It's like America now would have its footprint, so to speak, in what they consider to be Israel. Obviously I think the whole of Israel should be occupied by America or by, an Anglo-Saxon country, because we are the peacekeepers, ladies and gentlemen, and the Holy Lands should be a country where Muslims, Jews and Christians can go and visit all the places where Jesus went, and whatever temples are there for the Jews, whatever temples are there, for the Muslims, everyone should be welcome there, and it should be a neutral country. It should not be occupied by one people. I think the creation of the state of Israel in Palestine was a gigantic mistake, but that's another whole show about that we could talk about. But I like the idea of Donald Trump taking it over. I mean, it does seem counterintuitive. It does seem, obviously, almost a pro-Israeli thing to say. But look, I will say this. I think the whole Palestinian, Israeli conflict, we're all sick to fucking death of it. If you ever watch Sky News, I was up in Yarrawonga last week, and Sky News is free. I don't have it on my television at home, but it was free. So when I was writing a script, and then at night I'd watch Andrew Bolton, and it was, and all the other Sky, presenters. And I tell you what, it was 24/7 Zionism. I mean, I always knew, you get 10 minutes, say you watch, say, 4 or 5 hours, you get 10 minutes of Zionism here, 10 minutes of Zionism there. Say over 4 hours, you might get 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But it was wall to wall, ladies and gentlemen. So, any Australian watching that would think, what the hell is going on? All this politics of the right at the moment should be Australia first. But it was all Israel first. It was all Jewish issues. It was just extraordinary watching Sky, just the level of bias on that channel. I like the idea, in my humble opinion, the Palestinians should be taken in by Muslim nations, like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, whatever. If they all don't want this, there's what, I don't know how many million, not that many million, there's only a couple million of them in Gaza or something. Apparently there was 2.3 million, and now there's 1.8, which means they killed 500,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. That's an interesting figure, isn't it? Because that's not what they tell you. But anyway, there's 1.8 million left. I don't know, maybe you could have, say, taking 400,000 each. That's not much. And, these people have been through hell, ladies and gentlemen. These Palestinians in Gaza have been through hell. They could give them some nice housing, 400,000 nice houses in Saudi Arabia, 400,000 nice houses in Egypt, 400,000 nice houses in Jordan. I don't know, maybe Iran could get in on the act. They could take in 400,000 Palestinians. Who knows? They also claim they're friends of the Palestinians, so why don't they actually help them? I think that's the best solution. And obviously they're going to take over the West Bank as well. So, I think the Palestinian cause is essentially a lost cause. That Israel, what was called the land of Palestine now belongs to the Israelis. I don't like it. And obviously the Arabs don't freaking like it. But I think to a certain extent you need to accept that as the status quo for now. But what the Arab world now needs to work on is containing Israel to within the lands of Palestine, or what were the lands that were formerly Palestine, because obviously the ambition is greater Israel, and that's where we're headed. Obviously, Israel wishes to expand into Lebanon, it wishes to expand into Saudi Arabia, it wishes to expand into Iraq, it probably wishes to expand into Saudi Arabia, but that will be a more difficult one for them. But even in Egypt, they talk about expanding there. So, I would take in the Palestinians from the Gaza and the West Bank, give them good homes, get them out of harm's way, and then concentrate diplomatically on containing Israel within the borders of what was once Palestine. I think that's the best solution that we can have at the moment, and just encourage the moderates within the Jewish community to stop this insane, thirst for war, thirst for Arab blood that's been going on since September 11. So that's what I think's going on, and I support Donald Trump's idea of Mar-a-Gaza. I know that, Jared Kushner might have put the idea into his head, in a kind of worm tongue, Lord of the Rings way. That might be true. But, if Donald Trump wants to build a few golf courses and a few resorts there, that's an interesting idea. It's certainly better than what was there before. So Mar-a-Gaza gets the thumbs up from the report for Tiger Mountain, and that's it for today.